minutes to go. Ladies and gentlemen, in about 3 minutes we will start.
Yarışların başlanmasına 3 dakika vaxt kalır. 3 dakikadan sonra başlayırıq.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the International Judo Federation of Azerbaijan, and from all our sponsors, welcome to the final block of the second day of Baku World Judo Championship 2018, Azerbaijan.
Hanımlar ve canlar maça geçilen dünya şampiyonu Terentaş Sporçular gecede bir anı Judo Federasyonu, Azerbaycan Judo Federasyonu ve tabii bütün tektaşlarından sizleri Bakü Azerbaycan'da dünya şampiyonluğuna sağlamak çok iştahlı. Hoş geldiniz. Yarışlar başlamasına bir dakikadan az vaxt kalır.
Very big welcome back then to this 2018 World Judo Championships here in Baku. This wonderful city is playing host to the World Championships here. With the first day of competition over, we are looking forward to an amazing week, and today has been incredible too. Yesterday we saw the youngest ever world champion crowned, and today there's a possibility of more history being made with more chances of gold medals for Japan. Now joining me here as always is Sheldon Franco-Rooks, who will introduce our first fights of the final block on day 2.
Very good afternoon, Neil, and a very good afternoon everyone watching at home. And the first of the contests that we're going to see this afternoon is a repechage contest in the under 52 kilos. It features Gafen Primo of Israel. She's up against Jessica Pereira of Brazil. It'll be Primo in the white judogi, Pereira in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Vladimir Nutsabidze of Georgia.
Well, they have to do this final repechage fight to stand any chance of going through to fight for a medal. So they lost, these people that we're going to see first of all, lost in the quarter-final stage, and that means that they've got to do this one to come through for any chance of a medal fight. But if you lose in the semi-final, then the losing semi-finalist will come down and fight the winner of these repechage final fights. So it's all systems go, and we're going to get all the preliminary matches over with first, and then we've got it all medal matches after that.
Yeah, Primo lost to Amandine Bouchard of France, the #1 seed, and Pereira lost out to Abe Uta, the #4 from Japan.
Well, a good chance, haven't we, of seeing an all-Japanese kind of final there, and with the reigning world champion and, of course, Abe coming through on the other side as well.
Yeah, yesterday the two Japanese were both in one. They were both in the same half, so they ended up going head-to-head in the semi-final. Yeah. Pereira bringing down Primo for Wazari.
Well, straight into the attack there, Pereira. We just saw them warming up out in the warm-up area, and they were getting ready for this, and that was a great Uchimata, wasn't it? Didn't quite have the control of the upper part of the body. Got to place the shoulders flat on the mat to get the ippon. The ippon, of course, the equivalent of a knockout in boxing, you could say. She's looking for it again. She just might get it here. No, I don't think they're going to give that. The elbow was out there. She gets a second wazari, and it was just the wrong side, I think, for the referee, wasn't it? They might just question that.
Yeah, I think the elbow coming in there to protect her from the landing gives me the indication that it's not going to stand. The other thing is that it was on the other side. You can only see the landing down on the side of the body from the opposite view. He's got the opposite view. We had a much better angle on this occasion.
Yeah, this goes to a video referee commission decision, and so they look very carefully at the landing. Remember, it's got to be the side or the back, upper half of the body, in order to get a score. So that's what they're looking for here. And if the elbow hit first, it won't be counted. So the elbow hit first, it doesn't count, which means that Primo is still in the game.
Now, for me, that shouldn't go down as a mistake for the referee, because it's away from him. He's got two contest judges that sit at the side that work as a team, and the team says, hang on, we want to have a look at that. They've had a review from an angle that he didn't have access to, and they've said, hey, that's not the score, and they take it away.
Yeah, it's exactly what happened, isn't it? And I said it was the wrong angle for him.
Yeah.
So Pereira almost got caught there. She just almost made a mistake. Primo still in this. She's not going to give up. This, of course, to be able to fight for third place. Third place in the World Championships. Well, 44 competitors started in the under 52 kilos category at the beginning of today, and most of them at the end of it will have had 5 fights. The ones that are in the medals, that is.
I'd like to see Primo in this for as long as possible. I mean, we've only had, just close on 2 minutes, and there are already just a couple of signs that Pereira's not, as punchy as she was right at the beginning. So after another minute, if Primo can hang in there and not give up another score, I'd like to see what happens.
Well, yeah, we do see contests of 2 halves, don't we? And a 4-minute contest doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're attacking and you have to attack really on a regular basis, if it's too much passivity, you get penalties. And you look at the pace they're going here, and it's pretty constant.
It's a third attack in a row for Primo without a response from Pereira, and she just looks, a little rattled here.
Yeah, she does. And with this kind of pressure, sometimes we see a score late on in the contest, and she might get a penalty here. Remember, 3 Shido penalties will be disqualification, or can be, and that Shido will be a little yellow flag that goes up on your board there, but no Shido so far, and I think Pereira just a little fortunate not to get them.
Yeah.
She's not allowed to keep that leg hooked in either without throwing.
Primo will get to her feet quickly because there's only 1:18 left on the clock. She can't afford to burn too much time on the ground.
Well, you can see that there you go. She gets it. Pereira now just playing a little bit close to the mark. She's playing tactically. You can see that she's changed her tactics.
Left hand is far away from the body.
Yeah.
She's only giving one side.
And she's gone into defensive mode rather than attacking mode. And you can see the difference because Primo is definitely coming forwards all the time. There's her support there. Uchigari Primo. Wow, she's really taken it to Pereira. That Uchimata in the early stages has had her ahead most of the contest. But she's been on the defence, and you can see there by the look on her face, she is starting to struggle a little bit. Can't run for long. That's the whole idea of the rules. The rules have been structured so that you have to attack.
Got to stay upright here, Primo. She's going to get this now for an overly defensive posture. Yep.
So the second penalty goes up to Pereira. One more of those. If she just drops or makes a mistake, she'll lose this. And she's quite near. Well, she is defending, and she's trying to hold on to that score that she's got. Of course, if she can hold on to it and attack at the same time by coming forwards, then that's going to be good. But it looks to me as if she's really under pressure. She's being backed up to the edge as well. And if she steps outside of the area casually, she could find herself with that other penalty. 10 seconds to go. Still time. Primo is going to come forward. Here she comes. Well, that was really close. It was absolutely on her front. It's got to be the side. It has to be the side. Primo comes forward. Wow, well, she just about held off there, didn't she? I don't know what kind of a state she's going to be for the bronze medal match, but definitely she was struggling there. And Primo, well, good condition, you can see that. She just never stopped coming forwards. So one win already then for us in the under 52 kilos. There's two matches, which is the repechage finals in both of the categories.
Neil was talking about a contest of two halves, and that was almost the perfect illustration of that concept, where there's a complete turnaround in part two when Pereira came out, smash, bang, wallop, over went Primo for Wazzari. By the time it came to just coming to the 2 minute mark, I said, hang on a minute, things are beginning to look a little bit different here, and it was downhill all the way for Pereira. The only thing that Primo couldn't do was to come up with a tying or winning score.
Well, I think that it's one of the problems, isn't it, the going into defensive mode too early. You kind of want to sit on it, and of course, a minute to go. Well, yeah, exactly. A minute to go. There's the Uchimata. I mean, that was good. Did everything that was on the tin, and she got the score for it, of course. Hooked in, had to go on the Uchimata straight away.
It's possible that she may have had a little bit of a rib injury, Pereira. I mean, I'm being harsh because, she then had a tactical second half, and we're always a little bit concerned about, bringing in, those kind of tactics. But hey, you have to find a way to win, and Pereira did.
She certainly did. Well, you can see there that she went from one elbow to the other. A lot of people not liking that particular score, but it's there. It's one of the rules. So Wazzari is given. She'll be fighting for third place a little bit later on in the programme.
That is Jessica Pereira, and that's a look at Kefren Primo. Right, coming up next, the second of the repechage contests in the under 52 kilo category. Natalia Kuziutina of Russia faces Charlene Van Snick of Belgium. It'll be Kuziutina in the white judogi, Van Snick in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Nedim Bayat of Turkey.
Well, this should be a good one. These are two fighters, absolute fighters, aren't they? Kuziutina of Russia was on great form earlier on. She really did have good form. She looked to me as if she was going to go all the way, and it was only when she came up against Shishimi of Japan, the reigning world champion, did she get stopped. But right the way up to that moment, she looked every bit a world champion. She's going to be fighting Charlene Van Snick, and Charlene Van Snick, a real true, she's Olympic and world bronze medalist, and a real true trooper. So two world bronze medalists here fighting it out to get to the privilege of fighting once again for a world medal. Charlene Van Snick likes to go to ground. She likes to follow through. Very, very quick transition into groundwork now. And the great advantage that we have judo-wise now is that we've got a lot more time than we've had for a long, long time in a newaza situation. The referees let it develop. As long as it is progressive, they'll allow it to carry on.
Kazuchina sporting that new look hairstyle, that shocker blonde hair.
Yep, it is. It's we were talking about it earlier. I said, well, mine's a shade of that, but more grey.
You at least have in the lucky position of having hair. First exchange, nothing to write home about. I like the idea of Van Snick working in newaza with Kazuchina because it's a good battle.
Well, they're not going to be afraid to go on the ground, are they? At all. You know, Kazuchina there, willing to take it to Van Snick. Van Snick, of course, will be disappearing underneath with the Sodisura Kamigoshi. I didn't look at the head-to-heads with these two. I think, obviously, with the Grand Prix, Grand Slams, and all of the tournaments that we see, these two will have been head-to-head many times. The world circuit, of course, it puts a lot of these top fighters together a lot.
Single Shido picked up by Kazuchina for passivity. Just needs to pick up the pace a little bit.
Ooh. Wow, well, that's going to be a Wazari, is it, for Van Snick there? Koshiguruma, and she takes Kazuchina over. There's the Koshi. Yeah, well, what a score. Really good score, that. Right on the edge. Started in, went outside. That doesn't matter as long as it starts in.
More of the same for Van Snick. That's what I recommend.
You need to leave that alone. Anything sacrifice where you're falling on your back to sacrifice your own weight. You have to get it right first time. And if you don't break balance, then you could be penalised for it, but that was the Koshiguruma again.
It's clever work because Van Snick was backed up against the edge of the competition area, and Kazuchina just wanted to give her a little bit more pressure, so she was just coming forward, which is exactly what you want for that technique. And then you've got the safety of being able to, when you bring it off, of being able to roll out the competition area. So she was pretty good work all round.
Jean-Pierre Gilbert is in the chair for the Russians. Very good newaza specialist himself from France. Certainly, I think him and Patrick Roux have brought a lot of the groundwork skills up in Russia, certainly in the ladies' judo.
And it was in newaza that Kazuchina in the Olympic Games in the bronze medal contest won her contest in a very, very similar position to this.
Well, she is very close there to getting that leg out. And wow, Charlene Van Snick there just manages to readjust the balance. Not in a good place here, and the referee's going to let it carry on for a little bit.
Yeah, just when she trapped it the second time, he thought, okay, I want to call mate here. But up until that point, he was continuing.
Into the last minute, Van Snick will be looking at the clock here, and this is where they start to change the tactics. That was very close. Drop Seoinage on the left there from Kazuchina, and she had really good control of that arm, didn't she, when she came in for that? It was very tight.
Having run the last time that they came in for an exchange, the thing that Van Snick should do now is be straight at Kazuchina. She won't be expecting that. She's going to be thinking, and she's going back. Yeah.
Well, now she's running away, so they need to be on top of that because she cannot literally run away. You can't do it. You have to come forwards. And that was close. Kazuchina started to come up there and then decided against it. We've seen a lot of scores, actually, from people coming up off the ground. A new rule just introduced is that if you are still, one of you is still standing, then it's still classed as standing work and tachiwaza, so you can still throw off it, even if your opponent's on the ground. Now that's almost, Charlene Van Snick just manages to hold off here. 12 seconds left, and she needs to stand up, Kojotina. Quick look at the clock there, Van Snick. 3 seconds left, and I think it's all over. Well, she had to do that. That was good. The clock didn't start there. Ran all the way over, did an attack, and it was still on 2 seconds after a 3-second start. Anyway, she wins it, and Van Snick of Belgium will go through. She'll be fighting for 3rd place here in Baku.
Once in a while, you're going to get a contest that has an end like that, you know, slightly unattractive, where one fighter is backing off and, you know, defending. However, what I have to say, even in defence of the fighter who is backing off and defending, is that, you know, you get a 1-0 lead against Barcelona, you don't immediately start kicking the ball up the other end and attacking.
Well, no, exactly. That's true.
It's going to be 10 men on the goal line. So it's understandable, that kind of thinking. You want to protect the lead that you have, despite the fact that there'll be a number of people in the crowd saying, well, we came here to see some attack. Well, you did, I scored.
Yes.
And now I'm protecting it.
Yep.
Let's have a look at the highlights, and then we'll be back with some more action.
Well, it is. It's all happening. Day 2 here at the World Championships here in Baku, and it's been a great second day as well. Yesterday was superb. History was made. Today, possibility of more history. We'll talk about that in a minute. That was the score from Charlene Van Snick. Koshiguruma right on the edge there. Look at the commitment. Really drives her over. And, well, she couldn't stop going on her side. Kojotina had her arm pulled through, and she landed cleanly on her side there for a score. Charlene Van Snick, always there roundabout. Olympic and world medalist at under 48 kilograms. And here she is now at the higher weight, really starting to establish herself. Disappointment for Kojotina, but her day will come.
Ladies and gentlemen, the third semi-final game.
Right, we come to the first of the semi-finals in the under 52 kilo category. Amandine Bouchard of France faces Abe Uta of Japan. Will be Bouchard in the white judogi, Abe in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Roberto Correa of Chile.
Well, this will be an interesting one, won't it? Because Abe Uta of Japan really coming here as the number 2 choice Japanese, really, because Shishimi Ai, the world champion, is number 1. But Abe Uta is world rank 5, but she's the junior world champion and hotly favoured to do really well here. And she's against the world number 1, Bouchard of France. So it should be an absolute cracker of a semi-final. And don't forget that on the bottom half of the draw, the other semi-final, Shishimi Ai is going to have something to say about who wins this as well. But she's got Miranda of Brazil, who's on cracking form as well. So this is going to be an absolute belter, no matter what happens.
It's a terrific lineup, and that's before we mentioned the possibility of the brother doing something in the 66s.
Well, that's the history, isn't it? The
yeah.
history is that her brother is also in the semi-finals. This is Abe Uta, and sibling world champions. Could it happen? Well, you know, was she throwing with an arm lock on? Now, you know that's a close one.
Done.
She gets the submission for the arm lock. I'm not so sure that they won't look at that, because I'm not so sure that the takedown didn't have the arm lock on. or was it just the Sumigaeshi? Maybe not. Maybe I just
The winner from
and then go
Needs
in
to
that
change
direction.
the direction and go over the opposite flank sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit like going down left wing, right wing, but you sometimes have to do it in order to set up the major technique that you want to do. Strong gripping tactics from both of these here. They're trying to concentrate on controlling the sleeve. So it's going to be negative. Ooh, well, it was Shishimi that got it. She's the one that's just batting off the grips. Good decision, that. I think they're probably right.
Miranda was close.
She was close, but she went onto her own back there. She did a sacrifice.
And she was close to getting caught.
Yeah.
Because she just lost it, went onto her own back, and Shishimi was just beginning to show, a little bit of control on the way down.
Counter was what I was looking for there, the counter. She's trying to counter. And of course, if you're countering, you can't go onto your own back in order to counter. This is how she did it. Oh, this is the Uchimata.
Yeah.
Now she's settled down just a little bit, Miranda. And this is a good opportunity. She has a good climb over, turnover here, Shishimi. She'll wrap it up around the midsection in order to do the Obutori Gaeshi. There's your favourite there in the chair.
One of them, yeah. Former world champion herself, Kumi Tomoko.
Second penalty up for Shishimi, and she cannot make a mistake now, because if there's 3 penalties on that board, then something is, well, she'll be disqualified, and that would be a terrible way for her to lose this.
Miranda's going the same way. Got to be careful here. As Neil said, there is a turnover for Shishimi from this. Here it comes.
She's got to get that foot out now. And it's not very often that you see that foot stay in there. You can see that Miranda's got hold physically of the foot. Can she lever it out here? Shishimi working hard to get that leg out. Japanese so good at taking that leg. It's coming out. I think it's going to slip out. She hasn't got hold of it now physically with her own hands. 7 seconds ticking away. The seconds are ticking away. It's all positive stuff. Shishimi is told to stand up. 2 seconds on the clock, and it looks like we're going to see that All Japan final.
I like that at the end, that Shishimi stayed in there for the little bit of rough stuff that was going on. Miranda wasn't happy with the way things have gone. That's what happens. And I think she just gave a little bit of physical presence at the end there to Shishimi, and Shishimi said, all right, I'll have some of that.
Yeah, we can always do that.
And a second later, there's a perfectly happy handshake. But at that moment, hey, I'm not leaving. If you want some, you can have some.
So Shishimi Ai goes through. But it's true, though. The nice thing, we are a fighting sport after all.
So, we now know the makeup of those medal matches, and we'll bring you all of those as soon as we've done the next weight category, which is the under 66 kilo category.
You could say a fully committed Uchimata there. Had to be a little bit careful, actually, where she went over on her head. It's only because it turned to the side that it wasn't directly over her own head. So we're going to follow with the under 66 kilos final repechage matches, and well, I can tell you that is a massive category that we've just seen. Look at those up there. Look, they're happy, aren't they? All Japan final, all about to happen.
75 fighters in that under 66 kilo category. We come down now to the repechage contest, the first of which features Daniel Kagnin of Brazil. He's up against Ganbol Kurlan of Mongolia. It'll be Kagnin in the white judogi, Ganbol in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Mathieu Bataille of France. We spoke to Ganbol in the warm-up area, and he was pointing out to us a broken nose that he's had for the last 2 weeks. He's broke his nose 2 weeks ago, and he hasn't yet had the operation, because the operation would have put him out of these world championships. So
is that right?
He's come in here with a broken nose. Hard man.
Well, it's a tough old sport, isn't it? It really is. Kagin had an absolute cracker of a contest against Tal Flicker of Israel. Wow, I think it went 8 minutes into golden score, something like that, or 7 minutes into golden score, and the 4 minutes on top of that as well for the original time. It was a long old match. Ganbol, well, he came through. He lost in the quarterfinals to Serexnov of Kazakhstan, and that was a good old fight as well. So both of them have had golden score matches before coming into this repechage final. Let's see what they've got left. Kagin of Brazil in white, Ganbol in blue. I've been impressed with Kagin. I've got to say, I've just yeah, it's gone right up. Here he was. I mean, he had a chance of going through to the semi-final of the World Championships. And, wow.
Yeah, he was on the map that I was looking at this morning, and he started off, cold. And then all of a sudden things began to warm up, second round, third. There was a fourth round as well. I thought, hey, this boy's flying here. A little bit like Tal Flicker. He was another one who almost went out. He was being arm locked by the Uzbek. And I thought, he's in trouble here. But he picked up as well just a single loss for Kagnin that put him in this repechage contest, as there was one loss for Ganbol as well. But still in with a chance of a medal. Kagnin lost out to Tal Flicker, and it was Serexnov of Kazakhstan, who I was talking about a moment ago, who defeated Ganbol Kurlan.
Well, they've got to get on the pace a little bit, both of them, actually. They've a Shido apiece up there. They can't afford another one. We're only just into the contest. It's a minute and a quarter in. So you can see they're very cagey, aren't they? Very cautious, these two. Neither one committing. First Sianagi that we've seen. Drop Sianagi there from Kagnin.
Yuko Fuji is the coach in the chair for Kagnin, head of the program, head of the...
She's the head of everything, isn't she, in Brazil?
Head coach in Brazil, and in the chair for Ganbol Kurlan is the former world champion Hashpata Saganbata from Mongolia. 2009 it was when he won those world championships. Second penalty picked up by Ganbol. We've got so much time left on the clock that you just go on the side of, it's not going to go the distance, is it? He's bound to pick up another.
Well, either that or they've just got to take, send caution to the wind and just go for it. Easier said, isn't it? We sit in the commentary position here, and you make comments, and we were talking earlier in the day, just saying about, you see the strength sometimes, or you see that somebody's having a problem, and so armchair coaching, we go, come on, do something, you can do this, that and the other. Easier said than done.
There was a former opponent of yours up in the crowd there.
It was Davidar of Mongolia was a world and Olympic bronze medalist, and somebody I fought on quite a few occasions. The strongest man on earth, I'm telling you. Oh dear. I remember getting hold of him the first time, and I just looked at my coach at the side, and I had this look of disbelief on my face, because of course the Mongolian style, very, very different. They're coming from different angles. I mean,
Almost
look at
like
that. Exactly like that. Exactly like that. So almost. Did he get direction? No, he lost it with the hands, right? So the thing is, a situation like that, you've got to have control of the hands, and you've got to assist it right the way down to make it your technique. And that's what it's about, really, making it yours.
Yeah, he was running the risk there of picking up the third Shido with that. And then maybe they just let him get away with one hand on and then going around the back.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty close.
Yeah, it was.
To being direct, and you can't have the direct bear hug. Anyway, it didn't happen, so 2 penalties to Gamble, 1 to Kagnin. We've got 40 odd seconds left to go.
Yeah, very cautious fight, this one. First of the 2 repechage finals. And remember that these 2, as with all the repechage finalists, have lost in the quarter-final stages of the competition. The ones that lose in the semi-finals, the losing semi-finalists will come down and fight the winners of these repechage finals for the bronze medals.
Don't like the look of this. Oh, lucky. All right, just tidy up.
Well, he's let it go, he's let it
Yeah.
go. Now then, he's gone to work. That was a lovely Wazari, wasn't it? And Gambold, wow, he let him get underneath, which was a bad thing, and it's all over now. So it's going to be Kagin that goes through, and, well, Gambold, he was 2 Shidos down, which didn't really mean that he was going to lose it, but he certainly was under pressure.
He was at a disadvantage, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. It was a nice technique in the end, Neil, that takedown from Daniel Kagnin.
Yeah, it was a lovely technique, and I'm not so far off a Nippon either, I don't think.
Yeah, Gamble was, using his athletic ability to keep off his back, wasn't he? And there are a lot of us that can't do that. We're a bit flat on our backs, but...
Well, how impressed. Kagnin of Brazil.
Good man.
He was one of 2 Brazilians in this under 66 kilos category.
You can see the highlights on the big screen.
So we're going to have a look now at this last score, and again, coming up out of Newaza, we've seen so many of those. What a decision that was to make that an absolute possibility for a score, because we've seen so many of them, and really it's talking about action-reaction, which is what our sport is all about. There's the action, there's the reaction as well, because as he starts to come up off the ground, he disappears right underneath him there, Kagnin. First technique, then the kazushi, which is breaking the balance of your opponent, and then disappears underneath there for the Seanagi, and just keeps control of him all the way over. Excellent example of action-reaction. Seotoshi, and he gets the Wazari that he needed.
Disappointment for some of the Mongolian supporters in the crowd, but the Brazilians are happy people.
Well, they are. They'll probably be celebrating in the streets, of course, as they always do.
Right, we come now to the second of the repechage contest. Georgy Zantaraya of the Ukraine faces Mikhail Pulyaev of Russia. It's Zantaraya in the white judogi, Pulyaev in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Cho Min-sun of the Republic of Korea.
Yeah, well, these have fought each other quite a bit in the past. And 2-1, I think, is the head-to-heads between Pelayev and Zantaraya. Pelayev has the 2, Zantaraya the 1. I've got to say, I mean, Zantaraya looked on good form today. I thought, oh, he's back to his very best, and he really is an unusual player. This man here is a 3-time world silver medalist, so he's not going to get to the final this time, but he's still in there with a shout of a medal.
Yeah, Zantaraya, if truth be told, I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but I picked him to get to the quarterfinal because I saw the draw, and he really did have a good draw. It really worked for him. Fortunately, in the quarterfinal, he came up against Abe of Japan.
Well,
lost out there, and now he's in the...
And you've got to say
repechage.
how easily he was taken out by Abe as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely made for Abe, though. He's such an open judo player, comes forward all the time, just perfect for him. And it's the same with Pelayev as well, because if he comes forward too much, Pelayev has a really good drop down Seotoshi that he does, and every time he's fought him, he's caught him with it. So got to be careful he doesn't come forwards all the time. He needs to just back up a little bit. Somebody said to me before that fight with Abe, he needs to take a back step sometimes, not a front step all the time. And you can see there, look at him pushing forwards, all the time pushing forwards, and that's what will be his downfall, if anything. Has great ability of avoiding landing on his back normally, Zantaraya. They call him the cat. Now he has the sleeve, Pelayev. Just getting ready to go in. He's left-handed, so he's going to do the left-handed Seotoshi. Dominating the sleeve, can't just push it down. Will have to go in for an attack.
Strong effort from Zantaraya, and after which Pelayev picks up a penalty for passivity, and again Zantaraya is first to the attack. Keeping up a good tempo here.
Oh, Uchimata! Oh, yeah, just managed to put his hand down, didn't he? Wow, that was quick as well. Disappeared right the way up there.
I wonder if Zantaraya can keep up this kind of tempo, because it's just got Pelayev backed up that little bit. It's not where he wants to be.
Well, never is, you know, and Pelayev, I've got to say, it doesn't look as sharp as I have seen him. I've seen him a lot sharper than this.
And that's Zantaraya's turn to get his hand down there. And like you said so many times earlier on today, a lot of these fighters are able to use, you know, some kind of gymnastic move to try and Arab spring or hand spring out of something. Gets his left hand down and just avoids going over.
Well, I'm glad they've just let it carry on and just let them fight it out, these two. Two old pros really having a good go at each other. So this new rule of coming off the ground really suits Zantaraya. It's perfect for him. Just let them come up and attack them off it. As long as one person is standing, then it's still standing work and you can still be thrown.
Zantaraya's just got to hope that he's got enough in the tank, and I just, you know, kind of felt that was coming. That's not the best, is it? That is not the best.
No rotation there for Pelayev.
He was lucky to get away with that one.
Yes, he really was, wasn't he? You've got to get rotation round or break the balance. And
it already called Mate. And the other thing there is Zantaraya had genuinely stopped as well. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, they're not too happy about that. I agree. I mean, thank goodness they didn't give that a score, because he did stop, didn't he?
Absolutely. It's different when, there is no pause from the fighter and it makes no difference, but it definitely did there. He wasn't going over to that.
What a cracking fight this is. What a good fight. And Pelayev here really trying to just find the way in for a Siatoshi.
Yeah, it stopped completely.
Well, he had. I mean, don't forget, though, I mean, the point is the referee had said mate, and I think that's the main point. Because if he'd have stopped like that and the referee hadn't said mate, it wouldn't matter.
Well.
That's it, isn't it? You take what's coming. Head down look of Pelayev.
Yeah. It's strange. It's normally Zantaraya blowing up this stage of the contest.
Well, they both look a little bit jaded, don't they?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking there, they both look just a bit too jaded.
Is that a slip? I mean,
Yeah,
he just slips, doesn't he?
I don't think it'll be a penalty,
Yeah.
but I mean, we're trying not to give penalties for negative stuff, but, I'm saying that, obviously it is a negative movement that attracts a Shido, but what I mean is you can't give it for everything.
And the thing is, when he's trying to avoid a grip, that's different. But no action had really taken place there. He slips there, doesn't he? Right, okay, 10 seconds left to go. And Pulyaev, what is that? You've got to know the situation. You've got to know what you shouldn't do. And he just dropped to his knees there.
Well, they have to give it, and I'm sure of that. They have to give it for Pelayev, because I would have thought it's that blatant a drop. And I don't think she has any doubt out there, the referee. Oh, wow. So they've let it carry on, and I was with you on that one. I thought maybe that warranted a drop. But anyway, it's gone to golden score, and away they go. Let's get on with it. That's what Zantaraya said. They both want to stand up there. They both want to try and throw.
Oh, counter!
Now, did
With
he
the
counter it?
I think so.
Yes, I think Zantaraya got it.
I think he counters him here.
Pelayev, and this is a great example, isn't it, of the skill of Zantaraya. I mean, he can, without a doubt, switch a movement a centimetre off the ground. Absolutely. Had no doubt there, did she? The referee had no doubt that was a counter. And you didn't either, and it was right there. Zantaraya the winner, and that's 3-3 now, and they're head-to-heads.
Zantaraya has a chance of a World Championship medal 9 years after, is it? Yeah, 9 years after winning the world title in Rotterdam in 2009.
Can't be bad.
The first Ukrainian world champion. We had a second Ukrainian world champion yesterday. There's the counter. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not sure what Pulyaev is complaining about, because his attack, which starts in, is absolutely turned by Zantaraya. Now, his only complaint was they're out the area. Well, it started in. So the counter is part of that first movement.
The whole movement started in, and so it's all about the whole movement, even if it switches halfway through. If it starts in and then you let it go, it's all continuous. Brilliant stuff there from Zantaraya, really did. He hand-assisted it.
Yeah.
Tewaza, they say that if you can't put a name to it, you can't give it as a score, but it was definitely Tewaza, which is techniques with the hands. Wow, what a great example that of how to counter somebody.
Vitaly Dubrov, no doubt about it.
Oh, he won't have any doubt about
Cho Min-sun, no doubt about it. I have no doubt about it. I'm in good company. Saraya leaving the mat a happy man. We'll see him again in the bronze medal contest. But coming up next, the first of the semi-finals in the under 66 kilo category. Tal Flicker, the #1 seed from Israel, faces Yerlan Zerikshanov of Kazakhstan. It's Flicker in the white judo gi, Zerikshanov in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Veli-Matti Karinkanta of Finland.
Zerikshanov, I think, is a little bit of... well, he's the dark horse here because we haven't seen a lot of him. And Flicker, of course, is the #1 seed coming in here, the most consistent fighter in the world because he's been picking up medals everywhere.
I can tell you from watching him, I watched every fight for the whole day. He started off like a drain. He was on his way out in the first contest. He was on his back, the arm was out. He happened to turn the right way, and the Uzbek just lost control of the arm. And he's just snuck through that contest. He snuck through the next one. He improved in the fourth one, quarter-final. He was flying. And now, here he is in the semi-final. What's the betting that he is now in the right place at the right time and heading towards the final? We shall see.
Yeah, I still say Zerikshanov is the little dark horse here. Just watch out for him because, like I say, sometimes somebody comes through. At the World Championships, it happens quite a lot, and somebody will come through. You don't expect them to do it.
Well, he surprised a few today.
He has surprised a few, and without a shadow of a doubt. And the thing that really surprised me, oh my goodness, that Cianagi was going up to the rafters then. He
knocked out Flicker's teammate, Baruch Shmailov, the one we were chatting to during the lunch break.
Indeed.
He was the #4 seed. So we had 2 Israelis seeded. They were both in the top half of the draw. #1, Tal Flicker. #4, Baruch Shmailov. And it was Zerikshanov who put him out in round 3.
Well, he comes from different angles, Zerikshanov. Saying that, but I mean, Flicker there, I mean, that's Cianagi, standing Cianagi. There was only one way that was going. The last person I saw do Cianagi like that was Koga.
And then Ganbol Kurlan, the Kazakh Zerikshanov put out Ganbol Kurlan, the Mongolian, in the quarter-final.
I think it's the unpredictability of people like Zerikshanov that you just don't know what they're going to do next. It's a different form of standing work that you've never seen before, and a lot of it is linked to the styles of wrestling that originate in their countries. You can see it quite blatantly with the Mongolians, and you can see it with the Uzbeks and the Kazakhs, and it really is. It's just so unusual. Same result at the end of it, but just a different way of getting there.
I think I remember seeing Zerikshanov at the Junior World Championships a few years ago. He looks like the same guy. I'm loath to say that is definitely him, but I suppose I'll have to look it up. It definitely reminds me of someone I saw at the juniors. Anyway.
Well, he's here at the seniors now.
But then I haven't seen him for a couple of years. So
no, exactly, that's what I was saying. We haven't seen him, have we? I mean, do we know where he is in the world ranking?
I'll tell you what I shall do. I shall look it up now that I've said about it.
Cianagi again there from Flicker.
Well, the first reason I think I was confused was because there's another Zhanov there, Zhumakanov, and I thought I was mixing him up with him,
right,
but
maybe.
he's definitely not the same person, so he could be the one that I saw at the juniors. I feel a little bit better about it.
Well, he's just he's looped his hand into the belt there, and he's done it purposely, and I'm wondering just wondering if that's actually allowed. Referee was right on top of it as well. I've never seen it. Ouchigari there, Seriksanov. Nothing in this. There really isn't. Seriksanov had a really hard quarter-final as well.
Penalty free as well. Good effort.
Oh, you see how he's on that arm?
Yeah.
That arm there, is that throwing with an arm lock on? We've seen a couple of them, haven't we? Controversial ones. He's holding the arm now, and well, we haven't seen. We did have a little crackdown some of the Grand Prix Grand Slams, but no penalties and no cautions at this event.
Can't finish.
Yoko Satamiwaza there from flicker. So this to get to the final of the under 66 kilos category World Championships here in Baku. Wow. Things really starting to hot up.
Yeah, it is the same guy at the Junior World Championships back in 2015. I feel a lot happier about my memory now.
Don't go there with me. The loser of this match will go down to fight Zantaraya in that bronze medal fight. Can you imagine fighting like this for this amount of time, this hard, and still not guaranteed a medal at the end of it? So now Flicker has to do something. Well, he was trying for the Yoko Toshi there, Seriksanov, but didn't break any balance whatsoever. Oh, that one does. That was close, really close there. Almost landed. It's got to be the upper part of the body, nothing to do with the legs. Well, the Kazakh coach is there, just told to quieten it down a little bit. It was close, wasn't it? He went onto his arm first, then managed to turn onto his front. It's got to be the side that touches. And I don't think the side touched there. Remember, any score now, and it's going to be all over, and the winner will be declared. So it's all Flicker. Seriksanov, he needs to do something here, something major. Another attack by Flicker. Not a penalty on the board either. Only 3 penalties would stop it, other than a score.
So I doubt we're going to see that. It's got to be a score, isn't it?
Well,
3
I think
penalties
it's got to be, yes. Oh, it's
And
there!
it is.
Oh! Seriksanov is in the final of the World Championships.
And there were 2 things that were going to put him in there. One was the throw. The second, when they show you the replay, Flicker was going to get given Hans Okumaki for the avoidance anyway.
Yeah.
He felt that coming. He couldn't get off it. The bridge comes almost, instinctively. You're trying to get off it, but he couldn't. Seriksanov, unseeded, storms in there.
Well, you don't see it very often, do you? Seriksanov, I said, with a little bit of a dark horse, didn't I, coming in, because he can throw and he can do something unexpected, and that's exactly what he did. So we were into the golden score situation. Seriksanov then does this Yoko Otoshi, and he's in the final of the World Championships. And Sheldon, just like you said there, he was unseeded coming into this, and in the under 66 kilos category, when you consider he's already had 5 fights. Most categories that's won the gold medal, but I'm sorry, he's got another one to do.
Yeah, just one more, pal.
Only one more. Oh, it's a sneaking. It wasn't Yoko Toshi. Tell you what it was. It was an Osoda Gary. Massive Ippon. And Flicker just stays there. He knew it had gone. He just knew.
See the head and everything. That was 100%.
Oh, no, it was 100%. He'd gone anyway. He knew it.
Yeah.
So, it was a real reaching Osoda Gary. Look how he reaches over here. And look at that pull on the hands. And he was going over there. It doesn't matter if he bridges. The bridge means Ippon. That's guaranteed, because if you bridge on your head and your feet to prevent your back touching the ground, it's still counted as Ippon. Osoda Gary, well, it's Seotoshi. I'm saying it's Osoda Gary, Seotoshi. It's a kind of a mixture. It's a bit of both. But either way, it's a definite Ippon.
Yeah, and Serek Shranov, get the name down because he's in the final. Terrific scenes, and well, I think the last time that we had a gold medalist from Kazakhstan was 2009, when it was Maxim Rakov in the under 100 kilos. I could be wrong. Coming up next, the second semi-final in the under 66 kilo category. Abe Hifumi of Japan faces An Baol of the Republic of Korea. It's Abe in the white judogi and in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Yevgeny Rakhlin of Russia. Neil.
Yeah, wow. Well, this is going to be a cracker, because I was talking to a few people just prior to this, just saying what a great match it's going to be. And the Koreans really looking forward to it. He knows that he's got a mountain to climb, of course. An Baol, though, is a former world champion himself. He's always there roundabout, isn't he, An Baol? Abe Hifumi, though, is obviously the favourite here, because he's the reigning world champion, and he really is on a different plane. But they're both of them brilliant judoka, and both capable of becoming the next world champion. The 2018 world champion, should I say. The possibility of sibling world champions is still on. Abe Hifumi, his sister, Abe Uta, is already in the final, and she did that in absolute style. Just blasted her way through to the final. She'll be fighting Shishimi Ai, the current world champion, in that final. But now Abe Hifumi, An Baol, and Abe is in white.
An Baol, party spoiler, do you think, if he puts out Abe and removes the possibility of that sibling double gold? Or
well, it would be, wouldn't it? It would spoil the party. But
do you think he's going to do that?
Well, you know, I think that he really has great ability. I mean, you know, I thought he was going to be Olympic champion, you know, and in that final against the Italian, it just never happened for him. Olympic silver medalist, but well, this man here, that's Sodisura Komigoshi and the Seotoshi and all the other little bits that he does. He's got an Ouchi as well. He's got quite a bit, actually. It's not just the Sodi that he does. Sodisura Komigoshi is a technique that goes off the sleeves, for the people out there that don't know the techniques of judo, but massive shoulder throws. Abe is one of the masters at it, but so is An Changrim, because An Baol is a Seoinage specialist. He does very low shoulder throws, left and right. Both receive a penalty, and since Abe has been on the scene, he kind of took everything by storm, and I often wondered, I said, well, what is going to happen when they start to really study his techniques? How are they going to stop him? But he just grinds them down, works at it, and then just readjusts his balance in order that he can make it work. He's starting to climb on top of this now. And it's Anbal that is defending. Well, I think he caught his foot there. So all about the gripping strategies, how they dominate the sleeve, how they dominate the lapel in order that they can attack, and that's what a lot of this is all about. One penalty each because they're not gripping up properly. When I say they're not gripping up properly, they're not gripping up and then attacking and throwing from it. Easier said, when we're here and when people look on, and there's the Sodi. And, well, I was going to say Anbal there, just about a centimetre off the floor.
And picked up a second penalty there, Neil. Pressure now. Minute 20 odd left to go. Just makes things that little bit more difficult.
Good Ashiwaza there by Abe. Sianagi again by Abe. Now he's got to be careful here. Didn't want to come up there, did he? Always knew he was going to be a great fighter, Abe. I just, when I saw him as a junior coming through, he gets a penalty for grabbing the leg there. 2 penalties each. 49 seconds to go. One mistake by either fighter here could be very, very costly indeed. We've seen him beaten for the first time actually this year. Abe lost to, was it Gambold, I think, of Mongolia, or was it his teammate? But we saw him lose. It was just in a Grand Prix tournament, and it was the first time he'd lost, I think, in about 3 years. But he's bounced back now. It was just one score, it wasn't by a lot, but just showed that he was semi-human. 8 seconds to go. Here we go. Might be going into golden score.
It's odd, isn't it, that they should have, racked up 2 penalties apiece. So we've had 4 penalties, but you're on the edge of your seat watching it. So tense.
It's tense because, for the people out there, you might think, well, there's no big throws here. We can't see any big throws or any arm locking, strangling or hold downs. But this is a very tactical match. 2 great throwers being very defensive and really stopping the other one from attacking. And it's Abe, if anybody, who is really the threat here, and I think if we see any score, it'll probably be him. What I hope doesn't happen is that it's decided on 3 penalties, which is a disqualification. Great condition. These are not even blowing, these guys.
That's funny because I am.
I know. Well, I am as well. And I'm going through this whole match. My palms are sweating because I'm understanding, of course, the absolute tactics here and the importance of winning a match like this, to go through to the final of the World Championships. And it really is a very delicate situation. Sometimes it hangs on a thread. Looking for the foot sweeps there, Abe. Just trying to get Anne to change his stance. And it's funny because he's fighting a left-hander. Now then, it wasn't quite. Siatoshi there from Abe, and An went onto his front. Remember, the top side has to go onto the floor, and that was definitely too much on to the front. Of course, if it's on the back, it's an ippon. All medal matches after this one, starting with the bronze medal matches in the under 48 kilograms. Well, a little bit of tactics coming out here. I've never seen Abe do this before, other than go for ippon. I haven't seen him play, and he's definitely starting to play now for the third penalty for An. So he doesn't mind how he gets to the final as long as he gets there. Good Seoinage there from An. So two styles actually very similar, almost cancelling each other out. Ashiwaza again there by Abe. Just has a little look there at his coach. Also at the referees, hoping for a third penalty for An. Let's hope that it is decided by a score. Oh, there it is again! Oh, he almost does it again. Right the way underneath there, Abe, and just manages to turn onto his front, and everybody there is going exactly like we are in the commentary box here. Oh, that might be a score. He might have that.
Yeah, that's inside, isn't it? Yeah.
He might just have that. That might be the score that wins it. Now, we saw one exactly like this in the Asian Games. But actually it was with the elbow out, and this time the elbow was in. So they might just give that to Abe. It might be a Wazari scored. For me, this is the absolute line, but you might find that they give it.
Yeah.
Wazari given then to Abe. Abe goes out, and this is the second time in this situation that I've seen absolutely on the line, and it goes in Abe's favour.
He took a whack to the nose there on the way down. Now, for me, this is one where if the referee in the middle says no Wazari, I leave it. If he says Wazari, I also leave it. That's down to him, you know.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
I think a situation like that, deciding whether he goes through to the final or not, then you have to perhaps have everybody unanimously decide. But yeah, I think certainly with the rules today, it was a score.
Yes, I go with that. And there's a point here. You'll see it in the slow motion. If that arm goes down and stays down, and he goes there first, see, it goes under the body, and it's the side that's going along there. It's right on the limit, as Neil says, but for me, I would not go against the score for that. Under the current rules, I would not go against the score. That's a good decision.
It is again. Yeah. It is on the limit, but the thing is that they say if the arm's pulled through, if the elbow's out, then no score. But the arm's pulled through, then it is. But anyway, so Abe is through, and the sibling possibility here still on track, and now it's going to be all medal matches right the way through. We're going to start off with the bronzes, and Sheldon will introduce them.
The first of the bronze medal matches in the under 52 kilo category. It's an all Brazilian head-to-head. Jessica Pereira goes up against Erica Miranda. It'll be Pereira in the white judogi, Miranda in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Yevgeny Rakinin of Russia. I think I'm going to put my money on Miranda here.
Well, yeah, it's just
too
It's
many
funny,
weapons.
isn't it? Sometimes she comes out and she looks absolutely unbeatable, Erica Miranda, and then other times she comes out and I don't know whether it's because she has certain bogey people that she doesn't like fighting, but I think I'm with you there. Erica Miranda coming out in blue here from Brazil, and Jessica Pereira from Brazil, her opponent. So guaranteed a medal here.
It's more for me to do with Pereira's last contest against Gafen Primo, where she was, fading fast. And I just have the suspicion that she may be carrying some kind of rib injury or something, because she was just, touching that area on the way out and towards the end of the contest and didn't look at her best in the last 2 minutes. Miranda, however, is still full of fire.
Well, Brazil versus Brazil. What do you think the coach said to them on the way out?
Don't get injured.
Yeah. So this is straight away, look at that. She's in there, Miranda, whipped that round the head. And Pereira
She's
has
had
to
tap
submit.
out. Yeah.
How quick was that? That was just, well, in a matter of seconds, 18 seconds on the clock gone. And Erica Miranda had something to prove there. This was not just a fight for third place in the World Championships, but I think a little bit of a sorting out pecking order in Brazil. Wow. Well, one of the quickest bronze medal matches that we have seen so far. So everything we said turned true, didn't it, then?
I just think, that Pereira was a little bit under the weather, to be honest. A tall order to have to come back after that, fight with Primo, and the possibility that she may be of carrying a bit of an injury. She just left the chin up for a little bit too long, and Miranda snapped that underneath, and there was very little that she could do. Had the leg trapped as well.
Yeah, for all the viewers out there, what happened was the strangle with the jacket. Miranda has the jacket, whips it underneath the neck there, and then throws her hips forwards in order to apply pressure to the neck. Has to go underneath the chin, has to be over the throat, and in the end, because of course she can't breathe properly, there she has to submit. So a great submission. If it goes across the face, then the referee will stop it and stand them up. But that really, the transition there from Miranda was superb. Erica Miranda sorting out the Brazilian problem there, and she goes in there to say this bronze medal is mine. But just the fact that the Brazilians had two fighting for third place in the same category was testament to the depth that they have in this category. Well, the hug at the end almost says it all.
We come now to the second of the bronze medal matches. This is the contest between Charlene van Snick of Belgium. She's up against Amandine Bouchard of France. It's van Snick in the white judogi, Bouchard in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Mariano dos Santos of Brazil.
Just looking up there, that these two haven't fought each other, considering all of the matches that we see. These haven't actually fought each other, so we should see a good old match-up here. Bouchard, of course, is the one that's been plugging away in the world ranking events. World ranked #1, but it doesn't always mean the world rankings really are to, I think they're to help sort out the consistent fighters that are consistently at the point scoring events. And of course Van Snick hasn't been able to do all of those events. She's had an injury, been carrying an injury on the elbow. Here she is, she's back though. And I've got to say that Charlene van Snick, all the way through actually, except for the contest that she lost, has been looking magnificent. She's been looking superb.
Well, that should balance things up, because Amandine Bouchard in the previous contest may have picked up a bit of an injury. Remember, with the arm lock? With the
Oh, right, yes, indeed.
Yeah. She may, with the possibility that she had, thrown her with the arm. Yeah, other way round, guys.
Yeah, she'll be angry about that, won't she, Bouchard? She got taken out in less than a minute by Abe.
Swamped, wasn't it?
Yeah. She has a good Seoinage, doesn't she, Bouchard? Right the way underneath there, and she does it off the grip. But look at that grip there. It looks almost as if she's holding the inside of the jacket. Nice ashiwaza there from Bouchard. Van Snick just lands on her front.
Yeah, sorry about that. I said Tsushima, it was Abe, wasn't it, who would...
yes, it was Abe, yeah.
That, yeah, sorry. Doesn't seem any the worse for wear, though, Bouchard. No signs of that in this contest as yet, anyway.
Oh! Lovely Yoko Otoshi there, and Bouchard is up. Was Ari up there? Superb drive there, and Van Snick couldn't get off it. No chance. So now she's got it all to do, and I suggest that I think that she'll be trying to take it to ground. Van Snick has a little look over to her coach to say, what do I do with this lady? Just being beaten to the punch, actually, and I don't mean that literally, I mean metaphorically, but and that wasn't far off a second score there. Just manages not to go onto her side. Just coming up to the halfway mark. Well, it's up to Van Snick to go forwards, but on that, Bouchard can't afford to just sit back and do nothing. Oh.
Not a bad effort.
Scores so often with that, doesn't she, Van Snick? Complete commitment. So Kosoto this time, attempt from Van Snick. Doesn't want to know down there either, does she, in the groundwork?
Just a little bit of a stumble with that Kosoto, wasn't there? For a moment, I thought that Van Snick might have a look at it, but Bouchard put some distance between her and a Belgian opponent, and that was the end of it. Minute 23 left to go.
She always looks as if she's kind of struggling, Van Snick, and then she'll suddenly launch herself in. She never stops fighting right to the bell, though. So now she's definitely running. She gets the first Shido, the first penalty up there. Van Snick coming forwards, as she's going to. The whole minute now will be Van Snick coming forwards. Oh, now did she get that one? Couldn't see the landing. It was a little bit away from us. Now we're going to see it.
There's the difference, isn't it? The elbow being inside. Ooh.
It wasn't far off. Yeah, that could possibly have been.
Close.
Well, that was definitely the borderline. Van Snick absolutely taking the fight to Bouchard.
too far away that time.
Bouchard doesn't really want to know down there with her. Van Snick coming forwards, last 30 seconds. Bouchard might just get a second penalty here. She's not doing anything here, just defending. Well, I thought so.
Yeah.
You know, I was just looking at that there. I thought, well, she's definitely defending. As she was at this time from Bouchard. 14 seconds left on the clock. All over, and Bouchard of France wins the bronze medal here. Van Snick will, of course, be devastated, but, well, it was a good match. One score in it, one Yoko Otoshi score, and Bouchard wins the bronze with it.
Well, she started the day as the #1 seed, world #1, ends up with a third place finish. And a big hug as well at the end there from Charlene Van Snick, who finishes off in 5th place.
Yeah, pleased about that, and the tears start.
This is the second medal for Amani Bouchard in the World Judo Championships. Congratulations.
Bu Ahmet Uşak'ın dünya şampiyonlarında ikinci medal. Tebrik ederim.
It was going to be a tough match, wasn't it? It was always going to be hard. Charlene Van Snick wasn't going to let it go easily, but she made a mistake part of the way through the contest and let Bouchard disappear underneath her there for that Yoko Otoshi. Just drove her, didn't she? Look at the sleeve. As soon as she gets that sleeve, you know that she's going to come in for that. So it was all set. Drive there. Look at the head. Determining direction there with the head. Great camera angle here. Love it here because we've got 5 different camera angles here to have a look, see where they're landing, and to see how they finish up. So tears for Bouchard, bronze medal for France, and the supporters there loving it. There's an Olympic champion up there as well.
And now, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, we come now to the final of the under 52 kilo category. Abe Uta of Japan faces Shishimi Ai, her teammate. The 2 Japanese will go head to head. The referee in the middle for this one is Rostini Balash of Hungary. Here's Neil.
Wow, you can just have a look there. They're head-to-heads here in competition. It's 2-0 up to Abe Uta. And she's higher in the world rankings, but one is world champion. The other one was junior world champion. And we got a cracker. It should be a really good match. Saying that, often we can see that highly skilled people can kind of cancel each other out, and I'm hoping that it doesn't turn out like that. I personally think that both have got a little something to show here, and with the Olympic Games just around the corner, and I say it's just around the corner because that year and 10 months is going to go very, very quickly, and of course they'll only have one spot for Japan at under 52 kilograms, and so they want to determine who's the best and who should be selected for that Olympic Games, because only one of these is going to be able to go. Abe in white, Shishimi in blue, and here they go. Oh, straight in for the attack there, Abe. Well, that looks so much like her brother's Sodisura Kamigoshi. It really did. Not that there wouldn't be an influence, of course. Obatori Gaeshi there from Shishimi. She's trying her best on in Newaza. Some very nervous people up there. I'm assuming that we've got parents up there that can't even look properly. They're looking through split fingers up there in the audience. Abe Uta's brother waiting to go on for his final in the under 66 kilos category. What a story that is. Can you imagine, just over dinner, just have a little talk about your finals.
How was it for you?
Exactly, that Cianagulus looks so much like it, doesn't it, really? Real family resemblance. Brilliant stuff. Look at the sleeve there, and I think Shishimi is going to get a penalty for blocking sleeve.
I think, and then they ended up giving it for passivity, but for me, that was the sleeve. Oh well. He rolled his hands round, and that's the signal.
Well, Shishimi just having a real problem getting in first, and that's unusual to see, isn't it? We haven't seen that. Now, that was close as well. Very close. Landed on her front there, Shishimi. And Abe has looked in breathtaking form all day. She really has. I mean, against the world #1 in the semi-final, she just took her out as if it was a walk in the park.
Almost turned it. Sorry.
Yeah, well, she was looking for the Uchimata there, isn't she? But Abe's defense to that, superb. Looking for the Sakeshi defense. Well, I'm really glad. This is an attacking fight, and often you see it. Two Japanese fighting together, and they'll cancel each other out. The skills don't get a chance to blossom, but they're certainly getting a chance here because they're both going for it. Left-handed Shishimi, and Abe right-handed, so she's looking for the big shoulder throws. Abe, Shishimi wants to go up the middle. That's why she's a little bit tentative, because there's a bit more commitment and coordination needed to go up the middle for an Uchimata technique. Well, I think now what's going to happen, this just might be it. It's all over.
Oh dear, yeah.
Well, because
the third.
Well, there was a second penalty. So just two penalties then. We're up to Shishimi, one up to Abe. They've got to be careful though. Shishimi has to be careful here, because what a terrible way to lose a final, world final. She might have that on. That was very close there. She was almost underneath the neck there with the jacket. 1 minute 22. Oh, Ashiwaza! Brilliant Ashiwaza there by Abe, and drives her over. In fact, that was Shishimi's Ashiwaza, actually. It was just off it by Abe. What a good match into the last minute of the first 4 minutes. Well, almost kind of ducked underneath there, didn't she, Shishimi? So that was a close one there by Shishimi. This time it's Abe.
When you take into consideration that it's the youngster Abe, who's, you know, the real big threat. She's up against the current world champion.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. Such is the depth, isn't it, really? And they decided to have a real good go at this under 52 kilos category, and junior world champion, senior world champion in there, but Abe probably the favourite for this, and like you say, unusual, isn't it? Wow, Uchimata and Cianagi's coming out of every direction. Super fight this, really good fight. Just had a look at the Japanese contingent, loving this, really enjoying it up there in the spectator booth, and of course it's they're guaranteed a gold medal, but a lot of them come from different camps within Japan.
Well, in the case of Abe, it will be one of the universities, won't it? Schools, and Richard she may already be with one of those companies.
Well, exactly. So they'll have different camps, you know, or different universities. And I would think that Abe's still probably studying.
Yeah.
So 1 minute, coming up to 1 minute in. Uchimata! Oh! Wow! What an Uchimata that was! And Abe, oh wow! She's the world champion. She's just thrown the current, or she was the current world champion, and she's just thrown her with the biggest Uchimata, and that smile says it all. Huge Uchimata, and wow, there was no climbing off that. Two-handed Uchimata, and I say two-handed because she's been going in for a one-handed Cianagi, and then almost scoring with that. It was back and fro with the left-handed Uchimata from her opponent there, and Shishimi in the end gave her the way in.
Well, for the next 20 minutes or so, we have got the brother and sister as world champion.
It's true, but existing now, it's got to be the current, hasn't it? Look at that Uchimata there.
But it is. She's the world champion, and so is he at the time for the next 20 minutes.
And I think he might just do it again. It's that support leg. That support leg there, the way it went in. And I know there's going to be some people saying, yeah, but she didn't land flat on her back. It was absolute control. It was Uchimata par excellence, and I'm telling you now, just look at the support leg.
Through.
It goes right the way through there. And wow,
you Ki, cheese flat on her back.
You could not have demonstrated that better if she'd have been standing still for you. You couldn't.
You know what would be a good question when you want to find out if it's an Ippon? Ask the person who's thrown. Right now, you can ask Yoshimi if she thinks it was Ippon.
She did a double break fall for her after the effect. Look at that. I mean, that is the existing world champion. And, well, she's now the ex-world champion because we got a new world senior champion as well as junior champion. Abe Uta of Japan wins it, and she does it in absolute style. First foot goes in, then the support foot goes in, and you cannot have a better demonstration there of how important that support foot is. The deeper you get it, the higher they go, and my goodness me, she nearly went through the ceiling.
That's the second world champion that's been thrown for Ippon in the final. We saw Tonaki Funa going over yesterday to Daria Biladid, and we look, even Takato's on his feet. Look, they know, they all know how good that is.
Oh, they do. Takato was laughing there, you know, and like I said, like you said there, he knew that was spectacular.
Gosh, Timmy Balash is one of the best referees in the world. There was no way he was going to signal Wazari, was there? That'd have laughed him out of the arena.
I don't think
Well, it wasn't quite flat on the back, you know. Right, we come now to the first of the bronze medal contests in the under 66 kilo category. Daniel Kagnen of Brazil faces Ann Bowell of the Republic of Korea. It'll be Kagnen in the white judogi and in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Frank Deutsch of Germany.
Welcome to the referee of this bronze medal contest from Germany, Mr. Frank Deutsch.
Well, we've got to calm ourselves down a little bit now, but I'm sure that we're going to see some more of that in the coming matches. What a final block on day 2. Whew. What a World Championships. Handball will be disappointed. Absolutely grief-stricken, I think, is the word, but he'll be here fighting for 3rd place. He's got Cardin of Brazil, who has had the absolute tournament of his life here. He really has. He's never been in this position before, and he's got the world and the Olympic silver medalist to fight for this bronze medal. No matter what happens, though, Cognin has had a great tournament. All bruised up. The facial injuries normally say it all, don't they? They've had a real run through here. 6th match for each of these. And here we go. Cognin in white. Anne Bowell is in blue. Fighting for the sleeves, and we see it so often now, and now that they've got the passivity situation with the sleeves, you're not allowed to resist by pushing it down without attacking. Kind of opens it up a little bit, so they can still catch the sleeves, still be dominant, and that's what happens, but action reaction is what it's all about.
Yeah, I wonder if Anne can pick himself up after the defeat earlier on, bounce back to take this medal. Cagnin, you know, is in the lucky position of being, you know, having won his way into this contest and lost his way into it.
Yeah, exactly. So 1 Shido apiece, I think, is going to go up. Did they get one? Thought they did.
I thought I saw some indication from the referee.
Well, obviously we must have misread that. I thought that he gave one penalty out. It certainly hasn't registered on the board. And that's what can happen if you've got a negative gripping situation, or you're not using your grip. Wow, what a way into that. Unusual way. So he did a reverse Aggie, catches the jacket on the way over and then drives off to the side. He really has been a revelation, Cagnin. Well, I thought he was on the arm there. I saw you tweaking then. My fellow commentator here, Sheldon, was just tweaking there. Just have a little look underneath, see if we can see underneath. But we're looking at a screen, but
wouldn't have made any difference. It was a stupid thing to do. But
I wish we had a camera sometimes just to see inside the commentary position, because we're going through the fights here. Our hands are sweating. That's it.
Single Shido picked up by Anne. It's 1:35 left to go. Still finely balanced here.
Now he has the sleeve. And Bowell, is he going to go in? Need to use it when you've got it. Aggie this time on the left. And I have to say that I have seen him sharper than this, Sandball. He has been, I've seen him very, very sharp. And this seems to be one of those tournaments where sometimes you just have to grind it out. coordination not quite what it normally is, and sometimes that happens, and I've had that on a few occasions where you just know that it's roll your sleeves up and get on and get the work done, because well, yeah, but and then sometimes you go through it. Now then, that was a beautiful Sianagi. That I'm surprised if she well, it must have been close to an ippon there, wasn't it? But we'll see it from several angles. Sodisura Komigoshi, it rolls. If it rolls onto the points of the shoulders, great decision that, because that, well, I don't know. Yeah, it does roll onto the back, doesn't it? If it's continuous, then it could be all over. So the Wazari was given for it because of the rolling action, and I get that. So
Close though.
very close.
Almost going over.
Yeah, he does. Some unusual ways in there from Kagnin. Sodisura Komigoshi. And he rolls, I think, from one shoulder to another. Some really great decisions, I think, from the top table. They've let the judo flow as much as they possibly can. The referees, good interpretation of the rules. Well, it's going away from him, isn't it? Kagnin, and Bal has just done enough. He's snuck it, and it was a really nice technique that did it. It was a Sodisura Komigoshi that was as close to an ippon as you can possibly get. Another medal, major medal for Korea and An Changrim. Ambol, sorry, I keep saying An Changrim. An Changrim, for people that don't know it, is his teammate who fights in the under 73 kilos category. We're going to see him tomorrow.
Who Neil can't wait to see.
I can't wait to see it. I'm not going to call him Ambol either. So please excuse me, Ambol.
And
I won't make the same mistake again.
I feel Neil's anticipation coming through, and we haven't got long to wait. Let's have a look at some highlights, and then we'll be back with the final.
Well, I said before that he's had a really great tournament, Kagnin. Did really well, and it's just started to go away from him here, didn't it? This Sodisura Komigoshi was what decided the fight. Great decision by the referee and the top table there. He didn't roll on the points of his shoulders completely, and over he goes. It was the deciding score, and look at the drive with the head there and the feet. It's still walking backwards there. And Changrim and Bal just decides that he's going to drive him right the way over, make no mistake about it. Disappointment for the Brazilian, and for the Brazilians, I think that certainly, I think when you get to a position like that you kind of you think, well, I've got a chance now. I've got a chance of a medal. You know, even if at the beginning of the day there was no chance, but look at the taped up fingers, and one holding his hand on there as well.
Around the thumb, everything, yeah. Right, we come now to the second of the bronze medal contests in the under 66 kilo category. Georgi Zantaraya of the Ukraine faces Tal Flicker of Israel. It'll be Zantaraya in the white judogi, Flicker in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Raul Camacho of Spain. Here's Neil.
Well, these two have fought twice before in major tournaments, and those major tournaments are the IJF world ranking tournaments that decide whether you go to the Olympics or not. So that's where the world rankings come from. Zantaraya, of course, one of the all-time greats, and world ranked 9 at the moment. Flicker came into this as the top seed. Here he is fighting for 3rd place. Flicker lost to Kagnin. In fact, he beat Kagnin to get through to the semi-final, and lost to Serkinov of Kazakhstan in an epic fight. But here they are now fighting for 3rd place, 2-0 up in the head-to-heads to Flicker. But this is another time, another moment, another medal chance, and it is for a World Championship medal. Zantaraya in white, Flicker of Israel in blue.
I don't want to be disparaging to anyone that Zantaraya got past earlier on, or diminish in any way, you know, where Zantaraya got today. But he did have a good draw. Believe me, he really did have a good draw.
I know, and sometimes, you know, a good draw isn't always the best thing. You know, sometimes we can have a bad draw and fight better. And so, I mean, so he did well, really, to get this far, but he might just up his game here because of the level of Flicker. And Flicker can come in from different angles as well. And I tell you now that the reason that Flicker is 2-0 ahead in their head-to-heads is because he's a big thrower. Zantaraya is kind of made for his way in. Watch out for the Sianagi, because that's what he's caught him with before. It's a big shoulder throw. And this is Flicker I'm talking about coming into Zantaraya. Zantaraya, of course, known as the Cat because of his magnificent escapes from landing on his back. It's very difficult to get onto his back. Flicker's the one that gets penalised for not attacking. Don't forget, these penalties are really to say, get on your bike, let's get this going. So a soft sumigaeshi there from Flicker. He knows that Zantaraya can come from different angles. Oh, big surigashi there from Zantaraya. Hips go through. And then he turns it into Soto Makikomi. Does the strange directional technique that he scores with so often. It almost looks as if he bends the wrong way when he does it.
Zantaraya definitely wants to do something about the 2 losses.
Well, he absolutely does, and that was a huge one there for the Wazari. And again, the big hips come across there, big surigashi. Look at this, look, massive. And we always talk about the direction hand. I mean, he is one of the few with the direction hand and the elbow going upwards and round the wrong way. I mean, normally we keep the arm tucked in, but a lot of the Georgians and Zantaraya, of course, the elbow going up there, but still getting direction. Wazari up, Zantaraya. Flicker really having a job to get into this fight. He's going for the Jujigatami here, and Flicker was in all sorts. He is in all sorts of problems here. Zantaraya is all over him like a rash, and he went again, didn't he? Biranid onto the head this time. Wow, what a performance from Zantaraya. Great performance. He really has dominated this match. Flicker has not even got close to it. Can he get the leg out? 8 seconds to go. I'm thinking not.
I'm thinking not.
I think that he was probably squeezing that leg harder than he's ever squeezed it in his life. 3 seconds to go. Zantaraya absolutely dominated all the way through. Great performance that, it really was. From a great skilled man, that was a really skilled tactical match.
And he came up with the score to beat. He didn't leave it down to penalties. You can laugh now.
Yeah, it really was a super performance. He climbed on top of Flicker from a technical point of view, I mean, and then he did from a physical point of view as well, because he was throwing the techniques in all over the place. Zantaraya was clearly the winner there, and that was a great performance. I thought from a judo perspective, it was a real tactical win, and he played it really, really tight and really well.
Medal number 6. And I'm happy to say I've been there to see them all. Including the first one. Yeah.
One more final to go. We have seen some beautiful judo with 8 champions, and please honor them and stay for the medal ceremony.
Well, that was the Uchimata that didn't score. Great Uchimata, and I think that might be the one that Flicker baraned off. Managed to do some flip to avoid it, had his hands tied up, and you can see he lands on his head there and manages just to, well, in fact, he couldn't help it, could he? And I think that's why he didn't get penalised for landing on his head. It was something that was, his hands were tied, so how can you avoid it? So we've seen a couple of these, haven't we? We saw a massive Uchimata exactly like that, didn't we? By Abe, and she disappeared underneath her opponent for the biggest ippon ever. Well, he's indicated 6 medals there, isn't he? 6 World Championship medals.
He actually looks as though he's been in a few battles, doesn't he now? Zantaraya.
Certainly does.
Right, we come now to the final of the under 66 kilo category. Yerlan Serekjanov of Kazakhstan faces Abe Hifumi of Japan. It will be Serekjanov in the white judogi, Abe in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Vladimir Nutsubidze of Georgia. Here's Neil.
Serekjanov, I said, was the dark horse. Is he going to spoil this party, this family party? I think that if anybody's going to do it, it could be somebody of the style of Serekjanov. Somebody who's not going to be absolutely overawed by Abe Hifumi. Saying that, I think that Abe Hifumi, of course, has the class and the ability to go right the way underneath him, and I think that's probably what's going to happen. But I think if anybody could spoil it, this man can, and I think it's by having somebody of this this style in this final will make it interesting.
I said that the last time I remember a Kazakh fighter winning the World Championships was Maxim Rakov in 2009 at the World Championships in Rotterdam, but I was corrected by Hans van Essen, who reminded me I had forgotten that it was Yildiz Smetov.
Of course it was, absolutely, yes it was.
Thank you very much for that. Hans making me look like a complete fool in public. Thank you so much.
Here we go then, our final of the day. Serekjanov of Kazakhstan then in white, Abe of Japan. He is the defending world champion, looking for that Sianagi. Look at that. He was very close there. Oh, he's in again. And Selekshanov just manages to stop the turn. Oh, the Japanese are loving it, aren't they? Absolutely loving it. They're in there having a great time. Well, they had 1 gold medal yesterday, looking for 2 here. That was so close. How many times has he got to do it? Talk about readjustment here. 5 attacks here. There's the 6th. There's the 7th. Selekshanov must be thinking, what do I have to do? Let's just stop this. Let's pull it all back.
Unsurprisingly, he receives
He says,
passivity
of course I got a passivity penalty. He says, not possible to attack.
How can I get a passivity penalty? I haven't had a chance to attack yet.
Can you have a word with Abe for me? Oh, it's all over! And with Uchimata! He did it with Uchimata. And, well, he was watching his sister and he thought, well, I'll have a go at the Uchimata as well. That was superb there. That smile says it all. And actually, it was Selekshanov that came forwards, didn't he? Came forward, tried with the Kosoto, and, well, the story doesn't get any better than that, does it? He says, I'll do what my sister did, and, well, the sibling story has worked out. The Abe brother and sisters have become joint world champions on the same day. Can you imagine that? Abe Uta started it off with the biggest Uchimata, and now, well, Abe Hifumi has come through, and he tried 35 times, I think it was, with the Sodi Surikomigoshi there, and that didn't work, and he thought, well, I'll go right the way up the middle then, and let's throw with the Uchimata. Brilliant stuff there from Abe Hifumi, and this man must be wondering what hit him.
And they both made it so exciting. You know, there is that background story to them that we knew about as Abe Uta came to the tatami. She, really smashed her opponents out of the venue. And then there was the smashing in this final. Here we go.
Well, he had to do something, didn't he? Definitely. Selekshanov had to do something. He had to come forwards. He had to look as if he was attacking. So he decides, I'm going to have a little go at that Kosoto. Kosoto, and then look at that. Uchimata, he decides to do. And even though it was off the mat with the finish, it started well inside, and he scores the biggest ippon. And, well, it's a 2-time world champion now, and he did it in style.
As Neil said before, we've got quite a few looks at this, and I hope that we just get one more look where we can see the support leg, because we pointed out the perfect placement of the support leg from Abe Uta. If we look at the reliance on the finish of this technique on the support leg from Abe Hifumi, you'll see the same thing.
You know what? You can just hear them, can't you, at that dinner table? Look at this, how he goes over. Look at the support leg there. Absolutely. They'll be at the dinner table and they'll be going, my Uchimata was better than yours.
Yeah, but did you see how my toes stuck to the mat until the very last second? Look at that, look.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it was an opportune Uchimata, that one, wasn't it? Not the technique he normally uses. They're all up there, all celebrating, and that was an amazing situation, wasn't it? It really was. He looks up at the crowd and says, what did you think of that?
Ceremony for women under 52 years.
Well, we come now to the first of the awarding ceremonies. For the women in the under 52 kilo category, the medals are being presented by the president of the International Judo Federation, Mr. Marius Visa. The first of the bronze medals goes to Amandine Bouchard of France. There's a bronze medal too for Erica Miranda of Brazil. Silver medal goes to last year's world champion, Shishime Ai of Japan. She has to settle for the silver on this occasion. The gold medal goes to Abe Uta of Japan. If we had a queen yesterday, it was Dario Biladid. Well, today's queen is Abe Uta.
Most certainly is. What a performance all the way through, and couldn't have ended in a more spectacular way than it actually did. Judo all the way, and I say judo in the big term, the large term, and we saw some amazing techniques, both standing and on the ground, and that's what we want to see.
Two great days, really, absolutely super. Those mascots, I'm gonna have to get my granddaughter one. I know she likes the little toys, either a dragon dressed in a judogi, or this occasion it looks like a tiger. Is it a tiger? They had a real tiger in Chelyabinsk, but that's another story.
I remember.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
was there.
And the story about the tiger.
I was
yeah.
there.
Right, okay. Now, the national anthem of Japan.
Thank you very much. Now, family picture. Referees and judo.
Ueno Yoshia, former double world champion up there, and Tsukada Maki, former world champion.
Well, they were all celebrating, weren't
Yeah, a
they?
few big ones up there.
All of the Japanese greats.
Do you know what was a little bit different about the celebrations? They're normally slightly reserved, aren't they? The Japanese celebrations, as though, well, we expected that.
They weren't there, though, were they? They absolutely.
Even if they did, the story behind it, I think, made them sit on the edge of their seat, and then it was the way that it happened. That made the difference for them.
Absolutely, and it was great drama, and that's what this is all about, isn't it? To have a story like that, brother and sister, just up there. God, mum and dad must be absolutely proud. Watch this support leg disappear right the way up the middle there. Look at the height that she gets because of it. Yes, we give a Yuko for that one. Superb stuff, really was. An Uchimata that will probably...
Planted her, didn't she?
I have a
Planted
funny
her.
feeling that I might be doing voiceovers for that particular Uchimata for a few years ahead. Well, it was, wasn't it? It wasn't just feet that was going up, but it was also the hands, and the importance of the hands controlling it right the way through.
Right, well, we're just getting set up now for the second awarding ceremony. That's for the men in the under 60 kilo category, but they can leave the family name up there. No change. It's Abe.
That's absolutely true.
So I wonder if we'll be able to follow this up tomorrow with the same kind of intensity. There's been so much focus, hasn't there? You know, we had the Billarded story yesterday, we had the Abe story today, and around that, in the other categories, been, you know, terrific judo anyway. See what happens tomorrow. But before that, we've got the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 66 kilo category.
Presented by Minister of Youth and Sport of Azerbaijan.
Medal təqdim edir. Azərbaycan Respublikası Gənclər və İdman Naziri Cənab Azam Rəhimov.
Bronze medalists are for Ukraine, Georgi Zantaraya, and for Korea.
The first of the bronze medals goes to Georgi Zantaraya of the Ukraine. And there's a bronze medal too for An Bao from the Republic of Korea.
Silver medalist representing Kazakhstan, Yelan Serichanov.
Silver medal goes to Yelan Serikshanov of Kazakhstan.
World Judo champion for Japan, Abe Hifumi.
The gold medal goes to Abe Hifumi of Japan. Huge smile on his face. The whole thing about this has been the animated nature of both the Abes. They've been so smiley, so happy. You know, you can really see it on them. And from time to time, when we've had, you know, winners from Japan, they've been a little bit reserved. You know, not this pair. They've been so happy. They make real attractive pictures.
Well, it does. It makes incredible pictures, and it's just a great advert for judo because big smiles, always the gentleman, always doing the right thing with the etiquette, and the etiquette meaning such a lot, I think, in judo itself as a way of life, not just as a sport. And of course, it's what an it is. It's a great story, isn't it? You know, and, we joke about what they must talk about at home, but I mean, imagine them as youngsters starting off doing judo together, mum and dad sending them along to the club, and then it develops into this. What a journey.
I wonder if Abe wants his tiger. I might have that off him.
For the national anthem of Japan.
Hanımlar ve canlar, galip idmançının şerefine Japonya'nın dövlət səslənir.
And now the national anthem of Japan.
Thank you very much.
Well, it really has been another amazing day here in Baku. Japan, of course, leading the medal charge, as we thought they would in the lightest weight categories. And history has once again been made. The Abe siblings, Abe Uta and Abe Hifumi, have done what they said they would do. 2 world champions on the same day. Still plenty of time, though, for others to impact on these championships. Join Sheldon and I at the same time tomorrow with the rest of the commentary team. Until then, from both of us, it's goodbye for now.
Yarışlarımız səhər saat 10'dan başlayacaq.